business exposure.
Connections with other businesses.
You want to make a difference in the community?
Credibility of membership.
Civic responsibility.
Business advocacy.
Leads generation.
Various benefits and services.
Seminars and workshops.
Participate on chamber committees.
And you can have it all with your membership in the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce.
This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
And we're back. I'm Nathan Ollie with the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and it's time for more Strictly Business and the closing bell. The Institute of Real Estate Management's San Joaquin Chapter Number 85 will host the third annual Real Estate Forecast Breakfast, where you can hear from local real estate experts on the current and future outlook of our local markets. The scheduled program and speakers include Mark Thurston of Newmark Grubb, Sherry Anthus of Coldwell Banker Preferred, AJ Antongiovanni of Mission Bank, and Keith Bryce of Midstate Development, John Gwynn of Roll Real Estate, Dwayne Keithley of Cushman and Wakefield, Martin Starr of Newmark Grubb Associates. The breakfast will be held Wednesday, January 21st from 7 to 11 a.m. at the Doubletree by Hilton, and that's at 3100 Camino del Rio Court in Bakersfield, $55 a person. And the next event would be a strategic pricing webinar presented by Cal State Bakersfield's Bob Bonacorsi, who will discuss what strategic pricing is all about and why it's so important. The webinar will be held Wednesday, January the 28th from 12:05 to 1 p.m. It's free to attend. To register, log on to gotowebinar.com and use code 104-062-683. A 2015 Employment Law Updates webinar is presented by the California Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, January 29th. Start your year out knowing and clearly understanding new California and federal employment laws. This annual webinar explains how recent state and federal court cases, new laws, and regulatory changes apply to your workforce. That's Thursday, January the 29th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. The cost is $199 per person, and you can register at store.calchamber.com. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce has some upcoming events, and for more on those, we'll talk to Melissa Rossiter, Manager of Marketing and Communications at the Chamber News Desk. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Nathan. We've got a couple of events to tell you about this morning. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce will begin accepting nominations for our Beautiful Bakersfield Awards beginning on February 1st. Awards will be based on work completed in 2014. For more information, visit bakersfieldchamber.org. And promoting your business should be easy, but when it's lights, camera, and action, nerves can make getting your story out there nearly impossible. Don't worry, the Chamber has you covered. Joining us on Tuesday, February 10th for a Facing the Media, What Every Business Owner Should Know seminar to find out how to master taking your message to the media. Lisa Kirsch with the Kern High School District and Jim Luff, CEO of the Limousine Scene, will be our presenters for the event. The seminar will be held at the Chamber office located at 1725 I Street. Check-in and networking begin at 11:30 a.m. and the seminar runs from noon to 1 p.m. A box lunch will be provided. Cost is $30 for members and $60 for non-members. To register, call the Chamber at 661-327-4421 or online at bakersfieldchamber.org. And if you haven't posted your mandatory 2015 employment notice poster yet, don't worry, the Chamber has you covered as well. This convenient all-in-one poster contains 16 required state and federal employment notices every California employer must post, regardless of the size of their business. The posters needed to be posted as of January 1st. Failure to post can cost your company as much as $17,000 in penalties. You can purchase your poster at the Chamber office for $32 plus tax. Nathan, that's all I have. I'll go ahead and toss it back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Melissa. There'll be a Legal Aspects of Supervision webinar presented by WorkLogic HR. Because employers and supervisors are in a position of authority, there are obviously legal consequences to mistakes that they make. This workshop discusses the legal responsibilities of the employer and supervisor and how to avoid costly lawsuits. The event is Friday, February the 6th from 9 to 10 a.m., and it's $20 per person to be part of the webinar. Register online at worklogichr.com. The Chamber's next social media therapy session will cover WordPress and the innovative ways it can help your business. The session will be held Wednesday, January the 28th at the Chamber office at 1725 I Street. Check-in and networking start at 11:30 a.m. with the program running from 12 to 1. The cost is $30 for members and $60 for non-members, with a boxed lunch provided. To register, give the Chamber a call at 661-327-4421, or you can register online at www.bakersfieldchamber.org. Dustin Pitcher, the technical director for the Marcom Group, will host the session, and he's joining us this morning to preview the event. Thanks for joining us, Dustin.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
So, for a newbie here, what exactly is WordPress?
WordPress is a content management system. So most business websites are going to run a content management system of some kind. It's basically the user-friendly interface to make changes to your website, changing photos, text content, things like that.
Okay. And how can a program or a CMS like WordPress, how can that be overwhelming for some businesses, particularly small businesses?
Well, WordPress is one of the easier to use ones. I don't know if it's overwhelming for a lot of people until they get into some of the, under the hood aspects of it. It may be overwhelming too when it comes to there's a plugin ecosystem. So it's much like the App Store on your phone.
Okay.
Your phone becomes incredibly more and more useful as you use different apps and stuff like that and kind of extend it. And that's the idea behind the plugin system for WordPress. And the idea is WordPress itself is not necessarily the key to making your business successful. WordPress's flexibility and that plugin ecosystem is what makes it really powerful. So it enables you to kind of take the business challenges of your web presence and your business, combine those with your marketing activities, and kind of automate things so that you put less time into managing your web presence, with the goal of increasing the number of responses you get from it and, the amount of service you can provide with your customers.
So give us a little preview of what we can expect next week. What kind of topics are you going to cover?
Well, I go into a little bit, the value of WordPress, there's a lot of different aspects to it. One of the under-realized aspects of WordPress, why it's so valuable, is that you've got a ton of people that know how to use WordPress already in the workforce. And for an employer, someone who's looking to put more of an emphasis on maintaining their web presence and make good use of it from a marketing perspective, the ability to choose a system that already has a lot of talent out there that knows how to use it, that's a big plus. So you don't have to spend hours and hours training someone on a proprietary system.
Okay. So from a more global perspective, let's say I run a really, really small business and I have, a very small but dedicated clientele that kind of, gets me through the day. Maybe I think I don't really need a web presence. Why would you recommend that even the smallest of businesses have some kind of web presence?
Well, it's a communications tool just like anything else. At the very least, you want to make sure you have a basic listing in the phone book, or you did historically. You want to make sure that people, when they want to get a hold of you, know how to get a hold of you. And a reasonable website will also make sure that they'll find you for relevant searches on Google and things like that. Google, 70% plus of all Google searches have local intent. So even small local businesses stand a lot to gain by having a comprehensive web presence. It's something that's well thought out, not necessarily something you got to spend a lot of time on either.
Okay. So who would you recommend attends next week's session?
Anyone who's interested in, kind of taking a more proactive role in making sure that their web presence is doing everything it should for their business or organization. Nonprofits also stand to gain a lot by making the most out of their content management system, such as WordPress. And WordPress is the number one content management system in the world, number one open source content management system in the world. It runs like 23% of all websites on the internet, which is a lot. And when you talk to people, they did a survey. 1 in 3 people have actually heard of WordPress.
Okay. So it's not just a blogging tool.
It's not just a blogging tool. No, it's a full-on CMS, and it can help you too with your business logic. There's things that businesses have tried to tackle like response times and converting leads and, you know, making sales, the basic stuff that was around before the internet, you know, as far as making a business run better. WordPress just gives you a lot of tools to enable you to do that better. It may not be as glamorous as, you know, some of the cool stuff you can do on the social media sites, but the way it integrates with those social media sites and the tools it provides can be a great benefit.
Okay. So folks can come to the session and get some information on, you know, uploading their pictures and uploading their video and continually making sure that their website is refreshed with new content, that kind of thing.
It's more about what WordPress can do to help your business on top of marketing and kind of behind the scenes without it requiring a bunch of time from you.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, it sounds like a great tool for even the smallest of businesses to really expand their presence. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that we need to know about this session?
Well, you talk about small business. A lot of small businesses use WordPress, but they're in good company. You know, the New York Times has some properties that are running WordPress.
wow.
You've got Vogue. You've got Time Magazine has some properties that run WordPress. You're in good company when you use WordPress. It's an established system. You've got 100,000 developers across the world that support this thing. So, you know, it's continually getting updated. It's continually adding features. When it comes to search engines and things like that, it's really the best out of the box, you know, for most people.
And Dustin Pitcher with the Marcom Group, thanks very much for promoting the session.
Thanks, no
We're
problem.
glad to have you. And once again, that next social media therapy covers WordPress and new and innovative ways to market your business. That's Wednesday, January 28th at the Chamber office, 1725 I Street. Check-in and networking at 11:30 a.m., the program from 12 to 1. Cost is $30 for members and $60 for non-members, with a box lunch provided. To register, give us a call, 661-327-4421, or online at www.bakersfieldchamber.org. That's all the time we have this week for Strictly Business. I want to thank my guests, Dr. Juanita Webb of PAS Associates, Lauren Smoot of the Kern Citizens for Sustainable Government, and Dustin Pitcher of the Marcom Group for joining us. We'll be back next Monday at 10 a.m. For Melissa Rossiter and all of us at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, we'll see you next time, and have a great week.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Introducing a new way to get the news. The Bakersfield Californian e-edition. It's not a website, it's the actual Bakersfield Californian right on your tablet computer, laptop, even your smartphone. All the news, features, pictures, and ads you're used to right at your fingertips. Now you can get the Californian on your schedule, anytime, anywhere, any place. Get your new Bakersfield Californian e-edition today. Visit eedition.bakersfield.com.
Bakersfield Life Magazine is a monthly lifestyle publication that features local people, places, and businesses. It is available to be read on bakersfieldlife.com and publishes the last Saturday of the month with many convenient pickup locations. Find us online on Facebook or Twitter, as well as bakersfieldlife.com.
Hi, Corey Costello here, host of Roadrunner Rundown, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. right here on Bakersfield.com. It's the official program of CESUB Athletics. We bring you inside the program with interviews with coaches and student athletes. Of course, everybody's favorite Corey versus. I mean, people like to see me in embarrassing athletic situations. And, of course, we'll have all the highlights from around the Roadrunners as well. So join us for Roadrunner Rundown, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. right here on Bakersfield.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month.